I'm just this.
Well, any of it. Any of
this, or this, or this.
Too much.
What about this? Oh man, Magnus showed me how to do it and I can't remember how. No, not that. The one where you like...
I don't know. Magnus does finger tutting or whatever. Anyways. Hi, and welcome to another episode of Dungeons and Degrees. My name's Adrian.
And I'm Alex.
And today we have a special guest. Special guest, introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Sabrina. I use she, they pronouns. What else do you want me to say, bestie?
I can't give you the intro of what we're going to talk about. So
okay.
That could be included. Or you can say, I graduated. Dungeons and Degrees. Or I'm just a silly Billy. But a goofy mood today. I don't know. Whatever you want.
I'm always in a silly, goofy mood. Okay. My name is Sabrina. I use she, they pronouns. And I started Coming Together Naturally, a real play D&D podcast. I also was a musical theater major, and I graduated with a degree in that. So, Dungeons and Degrees.
Your career has peaked.
She really be out there doing the thing, you know? All right.
You know, musical theater is like a solid degree option to have at school.
Why are you speaking like this? This makes me feel like this is not your true...
Listen, there's plenty of things I can do with my degree, but I did in fact choose to play Dungeons and Dragons, and I'm sticking with it, you know? I can do that professionally, I think.
I need a musical D&D campaign. Like, it's got to be full musical. Like, now I want it. Now.
Okay, there's a lot of acids you have to consider for that. Like you know, how much is musical? How much is like them playing D&D? Or is it like they play D&D and they write the musical afterwards and make it into something that's formed instead of like.
I want a Whose Line Is It Anyways?
Oh my gosh.
Featuring a real play Dungeons and Dragon opportunity situation.
Listen, okay. I'm down. I'll do it. I'll do it.
There has to be. Like, Wayne Brady could do it. We got that. Sabrina can do it. We got that. Like, there's two solid people right there off the bat. We're not even, like, spitballing anything else. That's all I'm saying.
The cast of Off Book, they already basically do it just without the D&D.
Right.
See? I'm sure there's at least one or two star kids that could do it.
Mm-hmm. Darren Criss, I believe in him.
These are names. I will say though that like I don't know if you saw the announcement, but they're having a spin-off of the cast recording of, I think, for Dropout now.
Oh, the thing they did with Off Book, the crossover. That's dope.
It is dope. It's so dope. But yeah, that's happening. What else?
Thank you for that information, Adrian. That was so much information. We just have a full knowledge of what's about to happen.
What you're thinking of is about to get bigger. So the marketplace is there. We just need to swoop in. That's what I'm saying, okay?
One of my zany ideas will take off, and it'll be great.
Yeah, you have so many zany ideas, but no follow-up, unfortunately.
Look, I am an educator. What am I gonna do?
To do the damn thing.
Hot Wheels has got to get its shit together for me to feel like I have the confidence to do anything else other than just survive.
What does this mean? Hot Wheels?
Hot Wheel. You've never heard me refer to Greg Abbott as Hot Wheels?
No.
Oh. Well.
Greg Abbott's Hot Wheels. Okay,
his name is Hot Wheels, yeah.
And knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
Herdbird. Okay.
Are you okay?
What do you mean? Listen, I have a podcast, a stream, a podcast, and I'm about to think about making a third podcast for some fucking reason. Actually, I already have a third podcast. I'm thinking of doing a fourth podcast. Why? I don't know. No, I need to leave Alpine. I really do. Oh, I got my... Okay, sorry, Sabrina. This is sidetracked. But, like, I got my first official no from UTSA. So now I'm waiting on Fullerton, which is in California, and then Florida, which I'd be living with my brother.
I'm hoping for Fullerton.
Yeah.
California dreaming.
Anyways, back to the main... Go ahead.
Did you ask why they said no?
No, I need to.
You need to ask how to make your application stronger.
I will. Because it's like, you got to look at the outline. Like, this is what we require. I'm like, I looked at it. I didn't care about it that much, but I looked at it.
Fuck your requirements, bro.
Hey, you got to shoot my shot, okay?
I did not spend all those hours helping you write those papers for you not to look at your outlines, Adrian.
I know what I needed, but also wanted to shoot my shot. I didn't have all the requirements, but I have a lot of other things like experience and go get 'em attitude.
Oh no, it's me on all of my job applications.
No,
do I
go
have
get
10
'em.
years of experience? No, but what do I have? Pizzazz.
No, that's not how that works in higher ed. They don't give no fucks.
I know they don't, but like,
No
but what if
fucks.
they don't?
No fucks.
What if they wanted my money?
Adrian says, I'm the main character, so I get into school without having any of the requirements.
Oh no.
Look, I got my job without the 2-year thing, and I'm like,
Yeah, but you're in the middle of nowhere.
yeah, but it still said it. What am I going to Yale or Stanford?
Stanford?
I mean, the middle of nowhere will take any. I mean, that's okay. Look, my job is pretty, like, to be a teacher is kind of competitive. Well, it used to be competitive, but like, we know the districts that are not competitive. Like, if you're going to sign up to go to whatever district, like, they're going to, you are breathing. We're going to take, one of them is like that is Houston ISD. Dallas is like that. If you're breathing, they're going to find a fucking spot for you.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Those poor unbreathing people.
Yeah.
Didn't have a chance.
Alpine, I'm for sure is like that. Alpine.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, I'll wait and see what happens.
Look, application deadline for Texas Tech clinical mental health counseling is June 1st.
That'll be my next one.
That's an online program.
But you know what that means.
I can still go anywhere I want and not be an Alpine.
You can be in California.
Oh, you kids. To be throwing out all the trash, picking up after y'all.
Are you kidding? No. We're not gonna pretend. Like when at SimCon, when we were all together for a week, that it was not you doing the cleaning.
Yes, it was. You just weren't around.
I was there when all the cleaning was happening.
Misha
and
Magnus did the most cleaning. I will say that.
I agree that Misha did the most cleaning, not Magnus.
You weren't there for that either. Anyways, sorry.
The GRE is not required. Minimum cumulative of a 3.0, but like, that's not. They don't really need that. So
see, that's
like,
the requirement I didn't have.
or a 3.0 in the last 60 hours. Do you have a last 60 hours?
I didn't do the math on that. I'll have to check it out.
But really, like I said, I know that one is you. If you have good letters of rec and you have experience, it's more likely.
We do have good letters of rec. They're very good people. They're very nice to me.
I'm done advising.
We'll do this next episode. as a whole episode of like, hey, this is how you do the thing. But yeah, so let's go back into what we're supposed to be talking about. So I wanted to talk about the birth of an idea into, and then putting it into action, and then the grueling work of interviewing 100 people. I don't know how many you did.
I didn't, so I got a little over 150 applications. I don't remember exactly the number. But I only did like 75 interviews, I think. Which now that I say only, I realize that was like 750 minutes of my time. But yeah, I was sitting around one day. I went, wouldn't it be fun to have a D&D podcast? And then my brain went, just post it on TikTok. You'll get enough people. You only need like 3 or 4. No way more than 3 or 4 people will see it. And then I posted it, and I was right. More than 3 or 4 people did in fact see it, which was overwhelming but cool. And I have a really hard time with when something I'm doing turns out to be bigger than I think, like more people want it or people like the idea. I'm less likely to do it because it gives me anxiety. So when it all started happening, I was like, maybe I just don't. And then I was like, or maybe you do. And then I set up an application, which was just a Google form with like 5 or 6 questions. And I thought about what I wanted, and I started like going through it and posting more TikToks about it. And eventually I ended up with a bunch of applicants and having to reject a bunch of people, which made me sad because I wanted everybody to be able to play. But I feel like Adrian would not want a DM for 150 something people.
No, I've done 10 before. It was not a good time.
So then I started doing that, and then we did play tests with groups that I thought of, and then I watched the groups play, and then I realized I didn't want any of the full groups, and I needed to rearrange it, and I picked people. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did you start thinking about what you wanted as a group? Like what was your skeleton outline?
So when I was conducting the interviews, that's really like where I drew a lot of the ideas from, and the applications too. Like I knew I wanted to see more people like me playing D&D, instead of like, I don't know, like every time I ever talked to somebody about D&D, they were like, oh, the game that the 40-year-old virgins play in their mother's basements. And I wanted to see more people represented, like younger and people of color and neurodivergent people and all different people from different walks of life, and getting to interview all those kinds of people, like, and hearing that that's what they wanted too. And not only that, but they wanted a community, right? Like it's easy to go into the D&D community and be kind of off-put because there's a lot of toxicity, a lot of like explaining to you how something works when we're just all playing pretend. Like I get that there's a rule, and I get like maybe Wizards of the Coast says it's a rule, but like I don't think it's a rule. Right? Like you don't have to play D&D by every single rule and exactly how it's quote unquote meant to be played to have fun and be a part of the community. So I wanted to make something that kind of showed that and represented the people who weren't represented all the time in the community.
Yeah, I said that too. It was in the interview, and I'm like, why'd you pick me to be the DM to this thing? And I was just like, well, I liked your answer. And apparently it lined up. So yeah, I was just thinking about it, and I crossed the video. I was just like, you got to stop like dicking around and doing nothing about it and actually be the representation you want to see. So yeah, maybe that's why I'm making so many freaking podcast. All these white men.
Retweet.
Down with the white man.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think it was also like Adrian said, like, he was one of the people who said it in his interview, like, there's not a lot of people who, like, especially like lead D&D, right, that we see that are people of color. And I was like, yeah, fuck that, man.
Like most of the top DMs, quote unquote, are all white men. You know, they're starting to get some more diversity up there. So let's make some fucking diversity, dude.
Man, like Gabe Hicks, who liked my TikTok, crying
Oh my
still.
gosh.
I made the peak of my D&D career, Gabe Hicks liking my TikTok, that wasn't about D&D. And I said, how'd you find this?
That can't be your peak. Try for more, dude.
I'm gonna try for more. But like right now, it's my peak.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, I can't wait to traumatize everybody.
Oh my god.
I can't wait to traumatize everybody.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, by the way, for coming for the split episodes. Adrian showed me a little tiny clip. I couldn't get too many spoilers, but I liked your little accent you had.
I made a choice. I channeled my nervous energy through that voice, and it was very obvious, knowing that there was there's some fear in doing that.
It was well received by the players, though. They liked it. They liked you.
I just do it for the clout.
Oh my god! Shut the fuck up.
I savor compliments. I just am so good, especially when it's about something that I've created. I just love that.
Listen, I was dying when Adrian said, like, oh, or when they said, oh, we killed him. And you were like, you killed him? And Adrian was like, I probably should have told you that, huh?
You know,
I'll be real. What part? Who did I kill? What happened?
About them giving the letter to the widow and.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Let's just hope you better prepared our guests for tomorrow, or not tomorrow, Saturday. Today's Wednesday. What's today?
Wednesday.
Today's Wednesday. Yeah.
It's gonna be good.
Mm-hmm.
We went over some stuff. He said he's gonna give me a backstory. And yeah, his character's already made.
Exciting.
We stand short kings. I mean, at least for my characters. Fucking love the shorties. Anyways, that's different meaning if you say it like that. Anyways.
I fucking love the shorties. Adrian.
Yeah. Put that on my fucking gravestone. Anyways. But yeah, no, I think everything's going to be going well. I'm having a blast making this story that I came up with. I think, to be honest, when I took some input from everybody before we started the campaign of what they wanted. They wanted like not too modern, but not too archaic. So I try to have some sort of overlapping of technology. So when we have trains, also I hate travel, so fucking trains. And then later we'll have other stuff go on, but I can't speak too much on it.
Why not?
Yes. Oh, you know. Spoiler shit. I really, really can't wait till this all comes together. I'm be real. I need to really re-listen to a lot of episodes and rewrite some notes to make sure. Because like I re-listened to Nero's episode, which I think was the first one, and me and Jaden are so awkward. Like I think it was like one of the first times we interacted like that, like one-on-one, and it was just like, okay, yeah. This is before like all the comfortability of all of y'all calling me freaking dad.
Listen, I think it's still so wild that like, am I grateful for the podcast? 100%. Like I have so much fun doing it, and it's something that I love. But like, I have never felt like something was more meant to come into my life than that group of people in a Discord from a stupid TikTok I made, like, than anything else in the world. Like, they're all my best friends now, and and while all of our, I still have some of the interviews on my computer, and looking back at them, and I was like, wow, that first interaction was so weird. It's so weird that maybe I shouldn't, can I say, cut this out if I can't say this. It's so weird that they've all seen my tits now.
No, we have explicit. No, I have not. For the record, I've explicitly said to keep me out of that chat, and they have. So they have a spicy chat.
Just to hype each other up, man.
I mean, am I saying, you know what? Maybe I need this community. It was definitely not like, oh, well, maybe we could also.
I don't want to. No, thank you. I'm good.
You know, look.
No.
Sometimes you just need a group of friends to play Big Kid Pretend with and say that your titties look good, okay? It is what it is, Adrian.
That's it. Sometimes you do. I remember having friends once. And when it's a good tit day, it's a good tit day. Mm-hmm. Like, you have to.
Alex knows what's up.
Unprofessional.
I'm gonna take this call.
Turn off your ringer.
Oh, it's a real.
It wasn't important, actually. And they went, "Hi, my name's Chris." Fuck off.
Hi, Chris.
Fuck off, Chris.
Chris, do you play Dungeons and Dragons? Do you want to be a part of a podcast?
I should be doing that to telemarketers, like reverse sale them. Hi, your warranty is out of whack. Well, speaking of warranty, look out! Here comes a great podcast that warrants your attention. That's what I should do next time.
Adrian, I hate you.
Yeah, you should. Everyone should hate me.
So, Sabrina.
Yeah.
You put together this entire podcast situation and then had to interview. So so you were looking for people who were not like the white men that we see sometimes on other play games. What else were you looking for? I guess specifically, why Adrian? Besides
that was a good question. I did good.
I mean, you did better than other people did, so we'll give you that. No, but seriously.
Yeah. So I separated interviews into DM and player interviews, and then some people had both. But for DM interviews, I wanted to hear their pitch for the story. And some people came in with these really cool stories, which, like, I would love to hear about and love to see happen, right? But Adrian came in, and Adrian said, I don't have a story.
Hell yeah, dude.
I want to make something with everyone. I want to have the players have a say and us all create what we're doing together. And at first, the first thing I wrote down was unprepared.
Do you have the notes? Can you get the notes real quick?
Yeah, I can open my notes.
Hell yes. Hell yes.
The first thing I wrote down was unprepared. And then Adrian kept talking. And maybe Adrian's just really good at digging themselves out of a hole. Like doing a whole tunnel all the way back up to the surface. But, like, it turned into, like, wanting to make something that was, like, uniquely all of us, whoever we were on the podcast, whoever ended up on the podcast. And I thought that was really cool and really interesting. And it didn't feel like, because Adrian also, when I asked my major question for DMs, rule of cool or no, gave like a 5-minute answer that took up half of his interview about like there has to be a balance. And I thought that like Adrian would bring balance to the podcast, and I could then go ahead and take risks on players who like maybe are too chaotic or more meek, you know. And I felt like Adrian would bring out all of the different sides of the people on the podcast, and I think they do a really good job with that. So
Y'all. There you go, Adrian. I got you all your compliments. You're welcome.
But sometimes I do hate Adrian.
I mean, look.
More power to me.
It's fair.
Mostly because anytime I ask him about death, he's like, Krea's dying first. And I'm like, ooh.
You asked that one time.
You did ask. This is and knowing if you have any listenership in this podcast, you know that's probably not going to happen. Or it might happen, and he's still not going to give a like. He's gonna.
You know, I know what you're saying now. I get what you're saying now.
Yeah. He may do it. He probably won't, but he may.
No, it's okay. I have my second character idea if he does, but I'm really hoping that they don't, because I want to see how it plays out, man. There's too many random people in Poppy's backstory that I wanted to meet that or in Krea's backstory that I wanted to meet.
So did you start with the DMs? Did you start with the player characters?
When I was deciding, or the interviews? When I was deciding, Adrian was the first person. It was literally the day after interviews were done, I believe, that I messaged Adrian and asked if he wanted to be the DM. And that was the first choice I made, and every other choice took a long time. Which I felt kind of bad about, because I was like notifying people one by one when they got in, and I saw people getting stressed about it, and I was like, I'm so sorry, but this is like, I had to step away from the idea that I was going to do a play test with a group of people and it was going to work perfectly. I had to start looking at it as like, these are how these individuals are, and this is why I want them to be a part of this story. Like, Hin, like, was the first player, or the first person in general that I interviewed. And he turned on his camera and brought so much joy in the first, 30 seconds of just being there and talking, and I could see how passionate they were about not only, playing D&D, but, making a difference. And I thought that was really cool, and I was like, Hin, that's somebody who deserves whatever platform this is, or I thought I was creating. That's someone who I felt like deserved to be heard and needed to be heard, you know?
That's very apparent, working with Hen in general. So, yeah, that checks. Not that I'm fact-checking you, but yeah, that's a very apparent.
That is a lie. That, please.
Hen's gonna listen to this episode and just sit there blushing and Sabrina!
Okay. Now, why Jaden? Why Jaden?
Good question, man. I gotta hype up the fellow Puerto Ricans. No. Because Jaden is the fucking silliest person I've ever met in the whole world. And his play style, not only that I saw in his play test, but doing the one shots that we were doing in the Discord, he was just silly, and he had serious moments, but there were a couple people that I was considering. I had to consider people for the chaos, right? There has to be some chaotic people on there, and I mean, Jaden was chaotic, and not a white man.
Check and check.
And also just like made you feel like safe in whatever choices you were making. I feel like he wasn't judging you for anything, and he didn't feel like he was worried about being judged for what he was saying and doing, which I think is really important when you want to just explore stuff like we've wanted to explore on our podcast, like sexuality and identity and betrayal and what is family, what is love, all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, baby, don't hurt me.
baby, don't hurt me no more.
Yeah, y'all are very trying to find everyone's alternative motives. Like, why are you in the freaking plot, Victor?
What are you doing, Victor? And then I listen back to the episode and I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have trusted Victor.
Everyone does not trust me at this point.
So you're gonna ask me about Lucy?
Lucy? Oh no, Lucy's gonna kick my ass if I ask that question. You can talk about the positive traits and qualities that Lucy brings to the table. I'm not gonna question Lucy. Lucy will kick my ass. I told you this. Jaden knows I'm kidding. Lucy knows I'm kidding, but will also kick my ass.
Lucy, powerful. A powerful person who is not afraid to be authentic. And I feel like being around that brings that out in other people as well. And I saw it from our first conversation in the interview and her application and the way they talk to other people and the way that they are so unapologetically themselves. And I just felt like we're playing pretend, but you also are like, every D&D character has a little bit of self-insert, and you cannot tell me otherwise. You're playing a pirate because you kind of want to be a pirate a little bit.
This is not the podcast for us to tell you otherwise. We have too many episodes that say, yes, you will play a little piece of something you either are or want to be.
And like, it's also like, when you're playing that little part of you, like having somebody who is not afraid of that is really helpful, because I think, especially when we do our talkbacks, I find myself like being able to talk to Lucy the most about like why something is going on, and when we're having conversations about like our characters, like opening up like why we make certain decisions, right? Like I think in every single talk back, I say the words, well, Kreia is just socially awkward. And like, I feel like as a person who has spent their whole life code switching and being afraid of social situations and how I'm being viewed, it was hard to decide to play somebody like that instead of the person that I wanted to be, which is cool and confident and untouchable. But showing that both sides and being able to talk to somebody like Lucy about those things and have them see like that we all do that and that it's what we need and that it's not scary with them, you know? That's why Lucy, you can beat up Adrian even though he didn't ask specifically.
Stop. I don't deserve this. In doing this process, what would you have done differently?
Adrian, when I say this is not about you.
I don't care.
I think I wouldn't have been so scared to DM. I think I would have just put out there that I just needed people and not say like I don't want to DM. I don't think I would have ended up doing it anyway, but I want to know what the path would have looked like if I believed in myself enough to create a story and a world. I don't regret it. I just want to know what that part looks like too. I want to meet the variant Sabrina who did that.
Have you DM in the past?
I have, yeah. I mostly have only DM'd like one shots, and I love doing one shots. But I've written a lot of worlds that I think am scared to show people, because I feel like, especially because I love homebrew so much, I feel like when you show somebody a whole world and all the like intricacies you put into it, it's kind of like being naked in front of a bunch of people because this is something that's genuinely yours. And also like the fear of, I am not a very rules heavy person, and when I play, and like if you've watched any of our live streams or anything like that, when I was DMing, like I'm like, let's go with this, and then somebody's like, that's not the rule, and I'm like, like I think I was scared of people listening and being like, you don't know what you're doing, and that's not fun.
I mean, that's, I think, something that everybody can connect to, regardless of what you're doing, right?
Mhm.
I'm doing this in front of a public audience. Even if that public audience is like more than just you.
Yeah.
Could still be friends, still family, or it could actually be like, I don't know, real public, whatever. But yeah, it's scary. It's hard. Are you kidding me? I think I'm signed up to do a one shot. And I'm still like, no, I don't think I can do that. And it's once again with people that I know I love and people that I know love me, but like,
Yeah. And not to bring my degree up.
Oh no, not on this podcast.
not the musical theater. No.
But I think like when I think about the difference between DMing and like being a player, it's the difference between performing on the stage and writing the play, which are both things that I have done. And when I tell you, I wrote a musical about being a queer person not able to label themselves and being confused by who they love. And I had probably like 6 anxiety attacks before we opened and cried a lot.
Hey, that
And
checks
was
out.
scared when anybody saw it about what they would think and if they were lying to me about what they thought. But when I would go up on stage and sing a song as a character or do something as a character, it didn't feel as scary because it wasn't me they were judging. It was the work that I was portraying, somebody else's work. So I think like being a player is like you're in this world and you set the and somebody else set the parameters of the world for you. So it's not as scary as creating the world and being the one to set the parameters and then having people judge it. So
I don't care what people think until I do. Nah, if it messes up, I mean, I've always felt like that. Like, it sucks, but I mean, I'm doing it in the moment. Everyone says they have fun, and if they're lying to me, why are they lying to me? You know, I just take it at face value until otherwise, said. But yeah, I'm excited to see where y'all's characters go. I'm excited to hopefully expedite this next. It's not the arc yet. I think we're about to hit the pinnacle of the arc before everything just freaking comes together. And when that happens,
together
naturally,
would you say?
You made Alex leave. Look what you've done.
You said it so many times, and I held my mouth shut, but it was the last straw, Adrian.
Yes. Okay. Because I hope that there's. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a blast. I'm excited. So much trauma. So much what the
Honestly,
fuck.
the thing that I appreciate most about the story so far, and maybe it's because I the games that I play the most are with my pals Luke and Tony, who are my best friends, and the majority of the one shots we have played together have been for my birthday or as presents to me, because that's what they give me as presents, is let me be the main character of a D&D one shot, and I love it. um and so like Adrian doesn't let things go my way.
It's not like I hate you or
No, I'm not
something.
saying that. I'm saying it's a good thing.
Yeah,
I'm saying
okay.
it's a good thing because, like, I have gotten away with a lot of my D&D games in the past, and that's why Tony, my friend Tony, says that he has to Sabrina-proof everything because I come up with dumb fucking ideas, and I think, well, the power of love and friendship will fix it. And Adrian goes, the power of love and friendship doesn't fucking exist.
No,
In the first episode, Adrian says, just because you really want something to happen, just because you're trying really hard, doesn't mean it makes a difference. And I feel like that was a lesson that I had to learn as a person.
I am literally breaking children's hearts everywhere I go.
But I feel like it's a valuable lesson, and I feel like another reason why I wanted Adrian on the podcast is because we're
He
very
was
like
old.
he's old. No. It's because we're
Hold on. No.
I'm
Wait,
joking.
wait a
I'm joking.
second.
We make jokes
Wait
about
a
him being
second.
ancient, like that he's 5,000, not that he's his age. He's not old.
But if Adrian is, I
I'm
still have
sorry.
tendencies that's still strong.
Well.
But
Grandma has entered the chat.
Hi, Nana. You got your comfy socks on?
but
That's
like
good.
Leave my socks alone.
for every like positive, optimistic, rose-colored glasses opinion and view I have on things, Adrian has, and I'll say it. I'll say it, and you have it on recording. Adrian has a more realistic view on the things going on. Gets mad because I usually say pessimistic, and he goes, "No, I'm just a realist."
I am a realist.
But
Pessimistic.
I'm not a pessimist. That's what all the optimistic
punch it.
people say. It's because they see the pessimistic as, or the realist as a pessimist.
But I do see things at like as they are, but I want them to be better, and I hope and wish that they're better. And I know hoping and wishing isn't enough. And not to say that's what Adrian taught me, but like I guess Adrian is slowly teaching me, and I feel like other people through the podcast, that like you can want something and you can work for it, but it's also like luck and situation and when you decide to go after something that makes a difference. And that doesn't mean you can't do it. It just means you need to work on timing and look at what's around you. So
Yeah. I give him a like. I know we're trying to do this like escapism, but like I'm also like, nah. Sometimes. And it's just because, like, I don't know, I am going to do something later in the campaign where it's going to be like, but Adrian, you let me do all these other things before. Like, I can't have that mentality where I snatch something away and it seems unreasonable.
Yeah.
It has to come from, like, I've been playing it this way the whole time. It wasn't ever about, like because I was angry. It was just how it played out. I don't want you to all to think that like all of a sudden I like decided, yes, this is the day I take off the training wheels and it's time to pay or something like that. like hey, I've been playing this the whole way throughout this way. It's gonna stay this way. Yada yada.
The trees don't end. If I tattoo anything on my body that my friend said in a D&D campaign, it will be with all due time, which was from Luke's campaign, which came from me not being able to wait for anything ever. And the trees don't end. when Kreia was just like looking over and looking for a way out, and you were like, they don't, they don't end.
No, they don't. Forever they are. They'll never not be. They will always be. But yeah, I think we have a good set of people with very high emotions that can take this game seriously, that don't play this game as like, haha, this is all just fun and games, and if I want it to go this way, that's how it's gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I'm gonna throw a tantrum. You know, like people will take the game serious if I take them serious.
I agree.
I agree. See, I'm fun sometimes. I'm a little kooky. I'm a little funny.
Sometimes Adrian's in a silly, goofy mood.
I haven't done anything to hurt my players, I think.
That's not true. That's not true.
You know what? I'm gonna remember it that I didn't.
No, you can't say that when I literally listened to myself cry in audio and Lucy cry in audio. And we're not, only on editing 9, 10, 9. So, and I know that we cry more.
Yeah, we do. It's a true story.
Part of me wishes that we could play in person, like all together. Like,
you can't say that after I said I wanted that to happen so bad. You said, Adrian, we have to do all the things in LA.
I know, but I mean like all the time. Like I wish we like went to a studio and recorded all the things together. And I was saying we couldn't do it there because we didn't want to work, right? And like the podcast isn't like work. I get that, but also like if we start, then you and I both know that you and I, whenever we start thinking about the podcast and about things, we come up with 150 ideas, and then we're working on things for hours upon hours.
So what? That's flow, man.
That's flow, but we were on vacation.
Yeah, flow vacation.
Is the waves, baby.
No. Always on, never stopping.
I've always been like that though. Like I've always just never stopped, and I think that it was important for not only me but for you as well, for everyone to stop for a second. And like I know we made a joke that it was like a content farm, but I was glad that like when everything was said and done, it wasn't like people were posting a bunch of TikToks together while we were there. Like we were experiencing
each other.
Yeah, and the moment
in a very intimate way that was very platonic.
Shut up.
I saw your eyes, Alex. Shut up.
We were...
Wait, why do I get attacked when that's exactly how you said it? Why am I the one being attacked right now? That's how you did it.
Listen.
All I'm saying is that at this point, I'm assuming y'all all are an orgy, and that's okay.
No,
that's what...
I only made out with one person. No clothes came off of me. Listen. Anyway, when I was on the train to LA, I looked out the window and I saw my first sunset over a desert. And this is gonna sound cheesy and dumb, and I'm ready for Adrian. And I'm ready for Adrian to roll their eyes.
Myself.
I saw.
He's gonna cry.
My first sunset over a desert. My first sunrise. Sorry, my first sunrise over the desert. My first sunrise in California, somewhere that I have always wanted to be. And I went to take a picture, and I put my phone down, and I said, "You have to experience this just for yourself." And I turned my notifications off, and I just sat and stared out of a window of a train for like 20 minutes watching the sunrise and not taking note of it, not taking pictures, just watching it for myself and experiencing it for myself, because not everything has to be about what you create. And I feel like growing up in theater, and then wanting to do something like become a D&D influencer or whatever makes you think that every second of your life has to be about grind and has to be about sharing your experiences, especially when you're someone who isn't represented in a space. But it doesn't have to be, and you're allowed to experience things just for yourself, and you're allowed to have moments in your life that aren't on camera, and you're allowed to, instead of taking a video so you can look back at it, just think of the memory that wasn't through a phone lens, you know? I'm so glad that I have that, and that I had that week of like not caring about making content just because I was with a bunch of people that would make good content together. So there you go. I'm off my high horse, Adrian.
Tomato, tomato, boo, tomato, tomato.
Tomato, tomato.
No, I mean, but that's important because especially we're talking about a sphere that is becoming more popular in just media. So podcasting, Twitch streams, it is something that you can do, right? You can create something for content. But it is also important to understand that the reason why the content is successful is because people have a genuine love for Dungeons and Dragons or any tabletop RPGs. And so there may be a push because you get a lot of content, you see a lot of different things. There may be a push for you to put your game online or to share it with the universe. But honestly, you don't have to. Like, the irony of saying all this on a podcast is not beyond me, but sometimes it's important to remember just to have a game, to connect with people, to enjoy it. And it doesn't have to be for anybody else to see except for those at the table.
Nah, everything has to be online. Chronically online. I want my poops to be online. Streaming, live streams. It was a good one today. 5 stars. You know, like, I want to be online all the time. No. But, I mean, one day.
I just think when we start putting every aspect of ourselves and making into content, we start becoming a character and we're not ourselves anymore. Because if you're constantly on video with your friends, with all that thing, it seems fake, right? And I don't want my friendships with these people to seem fake, which is why I don't think that every time Jaden, Lucy, and Hen and Adrian and I play a game, it has to be live streamed. Or every time we have a conversation, even if it's about the podcast, that it has to be recorded. This is specifically at Adrian for every conversation we had at TimCon, and he said, "This is content."
It is.
I know, but it doesn't have to be.
But what if it was?
I know, and does it sound great to make some more money? Yeah,
We're not making money. This is for fun.
We do make money.
I don't make money. I spend way too much stuff on character creation stuff to make money from anything. I spend hundreds of dollars.
The money because it's just sitting in an account.
I just want to give my players some fun stuff, dude. You know, dude. We may differ on that, especially since me, who's moved my private game to a public forum and potentially just ranting and raving with my friend Ian about anything and everything, and just everything to be online. But like, it's not like I put my work online. Like, I'm not like a patient XYZ. Totally blew it. They said XYZ, and oh my god, XYZ happened after that. You know, I keep things private. But I don't, it's like, whatever. One day when I grow old and gray, my kids are like, yeah, Papa was a great storyteller.
But do you ever think, Adrian, serious question, and sorry to psychoanalyze you right now, but I'm not that sorry because that's what you do half the time we're talking to each other.
That's not my fault.
If you got your wish, right, to get to, because you say that you would want to do this and you've thought about doing this professionally, right?
If it happens, it happens.
If it happens, are you gonna put every part of you out there all the time, because then you won't have that job, the one thing that it's not a choice for you to keep that a secret. It's HIPAA.
Yeah. Yeah, no, literally.
I work in insurance now. I know what HIPAA is.
Wow. I'm so glad you know about it now, and not from an episode of Simpsons, but whatever. Where I learned it. Don't forget your hippopotamus oath.
Oh, would you?
What?
Would you put every part of you, since you didn't have that? That's not true.
Yes, it is. I have to HIPAA.
No, when you don't. If you were doing
Quit deflecting,
D&D
Adrian,
and not your other job,
only
D&D, would you be putting everything that you do online?
Well, it's kind of hard to put depression online when you can't do anything, you know? Like, you're just in bed all the time. You can't even hit record. It's kind of tough. I don't think I'd be able to, because I think I have a mental capacity that knows where my line is. So, yeah. Next question.
That's right. I'm the interviewer now. Alex fired you and hired me as her co-host.
I don't know who's editing it, but absolutely.
Adrian still edits.
What? No, fuck no.
And it's a constant stream of shit talking.
Remember that guy Adrian? He edits our podcast. Fuck him. And I'm like, gonna stitch the words. I miss Adrian. He is a great person.
He has like pillows with like our faces just duct taped to them.
He buys 2 more microphones so they can sit around a table and pretend to record a podcast with us.
Yeah.
No, okay, so not pillows. I take that back. They're 2 giant dice towers, so we can just like play D&D with themselves.
Ooh, you should have seen that coming. I knew that was gonna happen. No, you didn't. Yes, I did.
I will admit. So it's the first time I've ever thought about that. Going on to your podcast and then having like anybody say like, "Oh my god, like I think you're so funny listening to you." Okay, hold on. This is the first time in my life that I thought about other people that I don't actually interact with on a daily basis, that I don't have any sort of control. I mean, I don't have control anyways, so that's false. But having any sort of control on how they see me other than what is being presented through a medium. And I did get off of that call and just like sit there, and I was like, oh, they like know a part of me that I openly show and display to the world. But is that really me? Like, to a certain degree, that this is still like a persona. This is still not a genuine version of me. I may talk about some I talk openly about what I experience, but even at the end of the day, I would not say that this is like the most authentic version of me that you would get on a day-to-day basis.
It's that good parasocial relationship that like you don't think as like quote unquote ordinary people that we have, but then you see examples of it. Like the first time, there's this girl in our Discord. She doesn't talk that much. She just turned 18. Her name is Annika. She started following me when I was doing like comedy content like 2 years ago, and is like self-declared my biggest fan, and that's really cool. And she thinks she knows a lot about me, but like she's very sweet, but she doesn't, you know, because like she knows what I put on TikTok. She knows that I like theater and that I play D&D and that I'm hilarious and that I have awful taste in men. But like that's like the character, you know? That's not who I am, but also it is who I am. So it's hard. Yeah, I 10 out of 10. They say never meet your heroes, but honestly, don't meet your fans.
Don't meet anybody is what I heard.
Leave me alone.
Adrian's. That's why they live in Alpine.
I want
Did
to
I just
leave.
dox you? I'm so sorry.
No, I've said it before.
Yeah, okay.
Listener,
one of the
come
7 people.
find me. I'm lonely.
Needs
I
help.
will cherish it. And also, if you want some free hair, I'll just little samples, you freaks.
Sample, you freaks.
Somebody help him.
I need to leave.
Not Alpine.
Mm-hmm. I do be like that sometimes. All right. So, what have we learned here today?
Don't go outside.
Never
I
meet
will.
anybody.
Yes. And if you're thinking about me being your DM, reconsider.
Fuck white men. But not like fuck white men, but like fuck them.
Yeah.
So,
Don't fuck white men 2022, but like fuck white men 2022.
someone's going to get that horribly wrong. And they're like, no, but they told me to.
No.
White man!
No. Nope.
All right. Let's wrap this up. Sabrina, where can they find you?
You can find me on TikTok at Sabrina.o videos. Wait, underscore I don't know.
Sabrina_.o videos.
No, Sabrina.o underscore videos, I believe. You can find me on Twitter at Singing Sabrina, and you can find me on Instagram at Respira_Bruno. Gotta have my heritage somewhere, baby. And you can find CTN on almost all, besides Apple Podcasts. We're still trying to figure that one out. Platforms. Listen to CTN and give us a good review on Spotify so more people listen to us. Yeah. Oh, you can also follow me on YouTube. I don't know what it is, but if you can find it, you get good hair cutting content. So.
What a complex individual you are.
That's too much content. I think I figured it out, Sabrina. There's a lot of content happening in your life. Where is the secret life?
It's like phases of like social media.
What? You can find me on
YouTube
Tinder
fans.
at go to Missouri and turn your radius all the way up.
You're killing my co-host. The mic has been muted so that my co-host isn't audibly dying and then we have to remove the episode. But only visually dying in front of our eyes. It's not even a Patreon special. That's just normal content for me.
There's the secret life. There's the divide right there is the actual hacking of the lung.
That's out.
Because that's too much.
That's
nope.
out.
That was the line. I found it. Just get your look. Michael and I not met on Tinder. That's a whole lie. That's a whole fat lie. We met the normal way that people meet. And then we reconnected through the Tinder. So there's that story.
So what I'm hearing is Adrian's wrong and I can find love on Tinder.
Oh my God. Yes. You can find love on Tinder. Oh my, yes. I joke that I stalked Michael for 8 years.
It's not a joke. It's real.
I mean, I didn't actively look for him on the Tinder, but I didn't stop myself from swiping right. Yeah, swiping right on the I did have to do it with my hand.
Listen, next episode you bring me on, it's gonna be my Tinder love story.
We need another love episode. That's a good Valentine's Day episode. Where are we at on our posting, Adrian? Are we around the Valentine's Day?
No, we're like the rest of this month, and that's it.
Oh, hold on. I swear to Jesus, I absolutely thought we were closer to February than I think I am.
We're pretty
in my
close,
brain right
just
now.
on the other end.
Please ignore me. Please.
My friend, are you okay?
It's stars. We got 20 days till star, okay?
Oh, I know what you're saying. The Texas testing for children.
The Texas testing in 20 days. 20 days, and it's fine. I know what day it is.
We have to wrap this up quick because I keep looking at my eyes and how horribly bagged they are. Look at that. You can't see that, listener.
No.
But, like,
Adrian's
if you
pulling down
could.
their eye right now.
Why is it so puffy?
I think that's where you should end it. You should do like I do for the talkbacks and just
No,
end it
we
on
gotta. We have a
silly.
proper ending. We have.
Y'all have a proper ending.
Yeah, it's yeehaw, motherfuckers, and they keep saying it, and I feel like, as the only Texan there, it's mildly offensive to me and my people. No, just kidding.
I'd like to say that in Missouri, bitches here say yeehaw too.
It's appropriation, but okay.
No. We did get the best sweater while we were up there because I went to Branson. I definitely do have a sweater that now says happy in Missouri. It's got a smiley face on it and it's tie-dyed. This is the best piece of merch. That should be 10 out of 10. Every store I should walk in Missouri should have that piece of merch.
Once you live in Missouri, you won't want any merch.
No, I mean I was good in Branson. I'm solid. I experienced all of Missouri I needed to. Thank you. But sweaters, definitely 10 out of 10. If you have gotten this far, and I don't know where Adrian is editing, so maybe you miss a whole bunch of chunk. You're like, I don't even know what you're talking about, Alex. And be like, I don't know what you're talking about either.
I don't know
I
how
listen
much
to
I'm
this
keeping
podcast
up.
either.
This is only a 30-minute podcast. The rest is extra content.
I'm just kidding. Dear listener, thank you again for joining us for another episode of Dungeons and Degrees. You can find us wherever pods are cast. Please make sure you're rating us the top whatever rating there is. I know Spotify has it now. You rate us and we'll rate you. That's how that works. Thank you. Also, you can find us on all social medias. It's Dungeons and Degrees with the N, not the and. Or not. Yeah, Dungeons and Degrees. I don't know why. It's been 20 days until star testing. Thank you. Also, you can find us on Patreon. If you have that extra $1 every month, please help us grow. You have some sweet merch coming your way straight from yours truly. We would appreciate anything. And if not, just get the word out. More listeners means more content. And we know that more content means more content. That got away from me,
It's
as
okay.
it does every week.
Oh yeah, streams every Friday now on Dungeons and Degrees on Twitch for my personal campaign.
Adrian hijacks our name for his own benefit.
Yeehaw, motherfuckers!
No, stop that! Get out of here!
Sabrina, you are more than welcome to come back at any point you want to. You do not need Adrian's permission.
Thanks, Alex.
Can't wait to have a guest. And then, like, also, by the way, I invited Sabrina, and I'm like, okay, they're doing it. I have to see her weekly. I didn't want to see her twice a week.
Do not pretend.
Shade.
Do not
The
pretend like we're
shade.
not best friends, Adrian. Do not pretend like we don't sit in Discord for hours, okay? Fuck
Saying
you.
nothing so we can get our work
No.
done.
Yes, and then yelling at each
Yes.
other when we're not doing the work. And then
Yes, I hate
sometimes
that
having
part the
heart-to-heart
most.
conversations about love and life and being closed off to everything in the world.
That's a direct hit at me, and I know it. You need to back off. I am the editor of this podcast. Thank you for listening. My name is Adrian.
And I'm Alex.
Oh, and I was Sabrina. I am
Go
Sabrina.
have some fun. Go, damn it, go have some fun somewhere. Bye.
The chaos.